welcome to this episode of Biking with Booze with very little biking. I'm camping at James River State Park, which is further away from Lynchburg than I thought it was. It's just up the James River from Lynchburg. It's not far away, maybe 30-some miles, something like that. It's a Virginia State Park, same as the last two places I've gone, Claytor Lake and Twin Lakes. This is my third Shakedown trip, and I've again packed everything in my panniers and my electronics bag, and the tent, the ground cloth, the stakes, and my quilt will fit on the back of the bike. I obviously don't have to put them on the back of the bike, but my rule for myself this time is I'm not touching the car. I'm not putting anything in it. So it'd be just like I was off with my bike only and didn't have the advantage of having the car to store things in. And I didn't bring a cooler. I'm almost finished with the water I brought from home. But I have water at this site. I think it's called the Red Oak Campground in James River State Park. And I've got electricity and I've got water. So again, not a luxury I would probably have at many campsites that I would stay at, but who knows? This time, though, I did bring my tarp, and as I'll show you, I spent yesterday, today's Sunday, May 17th, and I spent yesterday putting up the tarp and my tent, and then purposely putting the tarp up so I could put my tent under it so that I wouldn't have to use the fly that comes with the tent, which is also flaking a little bit, and I'm going to see about sealing sealing the seams. But in lieu of using that, I can use the tarp as a cover, and I get more air in the tent. And today is so different from the last two campouts because it was 90 degrees when I arrived here, whereas before it was more in the 70s, something like that. And when the last one, Claytor Lake, it went down to 31, so that was a cold night. I brought all my food that I need. I'm only staying one night, so I don't need a lot of food. I've got, as I said, water here. I brought a Coke just to have with dinner. And I remembered everything except one thing, and that's the sheet that I have for my blow-up mattress. So what I've been doing is, when I come back from these trips, I store all the things in a plastic container under our bed where I normally put my summer clothes. And since I just took all my summer clothes out and put them in my closet, I have a lot of space in those plastic boxes. So I took everything out thinking I had everything, but now that I've blown up the mattress and I've emptied all the bags and it's nowhere to be found. So it's somewhere at home, but that's not a big deal. As I said, it's going to be warm tonight. I think we're going to get down to 63, which will be cool, but pleasant because I am sweating now. And the mosquitoes aren't bad. I mean, I haven't experienced any of them. And part of the reason yesterday for setting up the tarp and the tent, besides more practice of doing that, was to spray them with Permethrin, which I'm told is a deterrent to ticks and mosquitoes and other crawly things. And so I sprayed the whole one side of the tarp, the outside, and all the outside of the tent, nothing inside. And the directions said don't spray inside. And you can also use it to spray your clothes, so that's another thing I probably need to do. And meanwhile, I'm in shorts and polo shirt, and in the paper this morning I read that this season is going to be really high with ticks because of, I guess, warmer weather. I'm not sure why, but there's supposed to be more ticks, especially in Pennsylvania and further north, but in Virginia as well. And in Virginia we have a unique, I think it's called the Lone Star tick, which if you are bitten by it, you get what's called alpha-gal. And alpha means you cannot eat any meat from hoofed animals, which would be a real downer, and I don't want that to happen. So thus spraying my tarp and my tent at the suggestion of Carol Hammer, who's a fellow resident at Westminster and used to hike a lot. So we'll see if that helps. So I have this little thing that you can see right up here. It's a flex tail light and mosquito repellent. It's got, as you'll see in the overlay pictures, it's got two little like purplish pads in it, and I have replacement pads, and you turn on the little heater and it generates enough heat to make the chemical from those pads come into the air, and it keeps mosquitoes away. As I said, I haven't really been bothered, so I haven't turned it on. It's also a light, so I can use it in the tent, or I can use it right here even. As you can see, it's pretty bright, but I can use that as a light in the tent if I want to read, if it was raining or something. Obviously, if it's not raining, I'd be out here. And I also have, or got, it's another flex tail item. I showed this before. It's a pump. It pumps up my mattress. Now my mattress came with a bag that you blow into, and you can squeeze it, and five squeezes, and it supposedly, there was a mosquito. 5 squeezes, and it blows it all up. This does it in about a minute and a half, and I don't have to blow any air out. It also has a little hook, so I can hang it if I have a hook to hang it on. So I probably should put a carabiner on here. And it is also a light. So it's a pump and a light, whereas that is a mosquito repellent and a light. Or maybe, oh yeah, you do it twice, then it lights up, and you can go through different white lights, orange lights, and bright lights. Okay, so that's a handy little tool. Or as you'll see, I was putting the tent up first and then the tarp over it at Westminster, and so I did the same thing tonight. I put the tent up, and the orientation, I want it facing east, so I should get a little bit of sun in the morning. And I use my my Ollie's blue tarp as a secondary ground cloth, and I extended it out a little bit. I can see now it would be a good idea if I did this configuration to extend it way out, so it's protecting part of the, because the tent comes with a ground cloth that goes underneath it, as again you'll see. But it would give me the whole area here, because I'm sitting in my little camp chair, which is really handy. And it gives me a place that I can sit out of the rain if I happen to, but still be out of the tent. So I did a little bike ride around this campground. I think there are probably something like 40 some sites, something like that. I'm in site number 18, and it's nice. Pretty separated in this particular campground. If you're ever interested in coming to James River State Park, number 18 is nice. 27, 28, and 29 are 3 others that I would choose if I came back to this campground. Well, I had to be out of here by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so my shakedown will have been successful in that I've now learned that I have to be careful about not forgetting certain things. Okay, well again, a little bit different than bike rides, but it's all in the interest of going on a bike ride, but doing bike camping too. But the first one I think I'm going to do is the Virginia Capital Trail, which goes from Jamestown to Richmond, Virginia. Jamestown, Williamsburg having been one of the early capitals, and Richmond now being the capital. And there's a campground close to Charles City, I'm told, and if any of you watching this know more information, please share it. And there's a parking lot apparently a mile away from the campground, so I can park my car in that parking lot and then ride fully loaded to Richmond, and that's about 20 plus miles, and turn around and come back, and so that would be about 40 to 50 miles, and then go to the campground, spend the night, and the next morning pack up and then ride to Jamestown and come back, load my car, and come home. So that would be a time where I really am bike camping, whereas now I'm really car camping with the idea that I'm learning how to do it with a bike. And the next trip, I'm toying with the Torrey Brown Trail, which I think is the one in Maryland. Yeah, it's the one in Maryland from Cockeysville up to the Mason-Dixon line, just below Freedom something, Pennsylvania. And then it turns into the York Heritage Trail, I believe, because it goes to York. The whole trip is only about 42 miles or so. But what I'd like to do is be at a camp close to York, and there is a campground that apparently it's not too far off the trail. And then just the next day, turn around, come back to Cockeysville, and come home. And the other ones that I'm looking at are New River Trail here in Virginia. That's I think it's 52 miles or so. The Capitol Trail is 52 miles. I think the New River Trail is 59. And it's got some primitive camping sites in 2 or 3 different places along the trail. So that's one I will do. Maybe I'll save that for the fall, because the fall leaves will be really pretty. And then I'm just looking at others. There are some in Pennsylvania that I want to do. I mean, besides the York Heritage Trail, closer to Philadelphia, I'd like to explore that area east of Philadelphia and up into there. And maybe the Delaware, some trail that goes up towards Allentown from Philadelphia. So those are my plans. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. So again, thank you very much for checking in on me. Goodbye.